thing. It was so funny. And my brother's group was sitting there, and he just walked up and just freaking destroyed him one hit. Boom! Ran up, looted him really quick, booked out while me and my cousin were there, and we were like running interference kind of, and then he booked out, and we all bounced, and it was hilarious. And it was under the guise that me and my cousin didn't know what were happening. We were looking for a group and everything, and we were like,
Right.
wow, what's going on?
Best fucking quest ever non-scripted by a GM in any game. Like that is a memory, that is an experience you have
Yeah,
that was not predicted, was not pre-scripted, was not pre-orthodox.
that was our imagination.
That was you enjoying the experience of the game and making it up as you go. Like
Right.
making the rules, making a game within a game, just having fun, socializing, and fucking around. Like
Exactly.
that's what we need.
Exactly, and EverQuest was one of those games also that you could sit there, you could go try to, camp a spawn point, and you would sit there and you would meet somebody, and you'd become friends with that person because you both sat there for freaking 16 hours, and you were actually going to compete over that spawn once it spawned, but you actually became friends with that person.
Yeah, but the
because you
spawn
spent the
didn't
last
spawn
16
for
hours.
fucking 16 hours. Yeah, you had to chit chat. And like role play
Yeah.
was a thing. Role play.
Yeah.
Like I
You
don't
didn't have a
know.
roleplay server, you just roleplayed.
Okay, and then role play servers became a thing to like force role playing on people and like non OOC chat used to be a bannable offense. Like out of character chat used to be
Yeah.
a bannable offense on a role playing server.
Right.
Like you had to embody your character like it was some D&D. Like that was really what like cut things off or like made things real for me was like this MMO environment. It was Dungeons and Dragons where I could play with all my out of town friends. We could play every day after school. We didn't have to go around this table and set up, and we didn't have to be in person. I didn't have to smell your bad breath and listen to you fart and burp Coca-Cola and Doritos. Like we could all just play, and there was this beautiful graphical interface, and we all got to play. As much as I enjoyed playing a DM and fucking with you guys, like sometimes I just wanted to enjoy someone
To
else's
play,
story
yes,
and play the
exactly.
fucking game. Like that's what it was, and it was just everything coming together. It was like the days of the AOL chat combining with Dungeons and Dragons and Centipede.
And I bet you remember your first time on EQ, and you remember what your first character was, and you remember what class and where you started, and some of the experiences you had in that place. I can't say that about any other MMO right now.
Nope. World of Warcraft and EverQuest 2 for me.
But World of Warcraft, I remember a little bit, but I don't. It wasn't the same.
World of Warcraft, I made a Dwarven Paladin, like a month and a half after launch. I played like all the way to endgame. I was on Antonio Bale. I was like head leader or like second. I was like second in command of the Dwarven Militia, a role playing guild that only allowed dwarves. And we were super badass, and like I played that for like a year because like real life friends were playing WoW and couldn't play EQ2 because they didn't have a computer that could fucking launch the executable. So I went and played WoW with everybody else, and I had this great experience on WoW. Like the leader of the Dwarven Militia he was actually in the Marines, and he got sent over to sent to war and active duty, and like relinquished the guild to me and sent me like 12,000 plat and like one of every mount and a bunch of flags and just stupid shit, and like relinquished the guild to me, and I ran it for like a year, and like good fucking times, man. Good times.
Yeah.
I had some great times, like just role playing and meeting people from all across the world, and like outside a game, just getting to know them as people, and like creating these great relationships. Once a week, we'd all like log in for a raid, and people would be waiting, like a day in advance to make sure they got the #1 raid spot for tank, and like, man, it was fun, but like it just I cannot recapture those moments. And like the closest I come to that is, like World of Warcraft, and I'll admit vanilla World of Warcraft had some great social memories for
Hmm.
me, but it was much more a social game. It was much more a modern version of my AOL Instant Messenger
Right.
MUD-based RPG games that I played, compared to like the hardcore mechanics of EverQuest 2. Like when I got done raiding on WoW with my real life friends and my internet friends and my crazy huge guild, I'd log on to EverQuest 2 with like my 30-man guild and just play the game and enjoy it
Yeah.
and get lost in the story. When I played World of Warcraft, I never got lost in the story. I never got lost in my characters. I
Right.
used it as a social platform to interact with other people. And
That was your first mistake. Other people suck.
no,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I take that as EverQuest 2's first mistake. Like World of Warcraft really capitalized on that. They hit the marketing numbers. They hit like a very wide demographic. They were
Yeah.
putting out like two page glossy full color ads in magazines back when that cost money. TV promo spots with Ozzy Osbourne and fucking just crazy shit. They
Right.
were everywhere. They blew up marketing wise. And
Oh yeah.
man, I
They had a little bit of lore that was backing them, and that was nice for them. But they wouldn't have been anything. It would have kept to their Warcraft crowd had they not had the amazing marketing.
yeah, I
Because
just
I'd never heard of Warcraft until World of Warcraft.
oh really?
Yeah.
See, I was the exact opposite, man. Warcraft, Orcs and Humans on Mac.
Hmm.
On Mac. Serial used to play on a Mac
That's amazing.
way back when, before computers were even really computers. But yeah, man, I played Warcraft 1 on Mac, and I played Warcraft 2 on PC, and I played Warcraft 3 on my own custom built PC, and I fucking loved the hell out of it. Like that was the dawn of like me getting hardcore into RTS, like
Hmm.
GameSpy Arcade, fucking Age of Empires on Microsoft fucking Arcade or whatever it was called. RTS really was like PC games. PC games were either point and click adventure or RTS. And that's all there was, man,
Right.
for the longest time. Unless you were playing MS Paint or fucking Oregon Trail. Like
Oregon Trail. I love that game still.
me and Cujo watched you play, what was it, Super
Super,
Wagon?
super amazing wagon adventure.
Oh my god, that game looks amazing.
Right.
I watched you
So
play
good.
that the other day, and it looked fucking fantastic. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, every time. Like, you'd hit an encounter, you'd read your little text wall, and then all of a sudden it was a mini game. And I mean, oh my god, it just gorgeous. Gorgeous. And it
Yes, that game was so good.
such a nostalgia factor for me, like, old
Yeah.
Mac 2s playing Oregon Trail.
Right. So good. Yeah, I've been playing that a lot more recently, just as kind of like a filler game on stream. It's really fun. By the way, all you jerks in chat that aren't following,
Yeah,
hit that
jerks.
follow button for both of us.
Hit buttons.
Hit buttons. Come on.
Do stuff.
Stop doing nothing and do something. Hit a button. Anyway.
At least have a drink. If you're not going to press buttons, pour yourself
Yeah,
another
have a drink.
drink.
Yeah. And then you'll press the button afterwards because,
Don't
we're all drinking together. You gotta follow your drinking buddies, right?
wait until they're shit faced and they just kind of like fall over on their keyboard and accidentally
Right.
hit the follow button.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
That's what I'm waiting
Remember-
for.
Do you remember when Daggerfall came out? That was like what 2001, 2002, something like that.
Was it Daggerfall's earlier than that?
Was it? It was after
I played that
EQ.
on a 95 PC, I think.
It was after EQ, I thought, because I only got into it. Maybe it was Morrowind. I
Nope,
don't know.
August 31st, 96. I was playing that on a Windows 95 Compact Presario.
When did Morrowind come out?
Xbox original era.
2002. Okay, that's the one
2004?
I'm talking about. Okay.
2002.
So we played a little bit of Daggerfall before EQ, and then we actually were playing it after EQ, and that stole one of my cousins away for a great deal of time, while we were all still playing. Um, but there was nothing. There was still nothing like EQ. He came back to EQ, and there was nothing like it. Morrowind was better in every way, except for that it was worse in every way.
Morrowind was fucking fantastic. I loved Morrowind. Morrowind was amazing, but like I invited my friends over to watch me play, and they,
Yeah.
like that's not. It wasn't a social game. Like Elder Scrolls, I bring back. We talked about earlier in the night. Elder Scrolls Online going free to play.
Mhm.
I don't even see it being worth my time.
I already own it, so I'm gonna play it. Like I just downloaded it again today because I already own it, so I might as well play it a little. And being on stream, like you play, this is just went free to play, so it might be a good time to try it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not a game that I'm ever gonna like be into.
Yeah, no, and it is the best single player RPG within the last 10 years. Like Elder Scrolls has been locking
Oh
it
yeah,
down
oh
for
yeah,
sure.
more than 10 years.
Well, since 1996 with Daggerfall for
Yeah,
sure.
that's 20 years.
Okay. Math is hard. It's 19, fucker. It's 19. But like they've perfected the quintessential heroic RPG. Like they got it down. They are the masters.
Yeah, yeah, they are. It's always been a really good game. Although I actually think that if you were to play Skyrim right now, and if you just did not even forget or not even think about the graphics, but if you go back and play, say, Morrowind, you're gonna probably have a better time on Morrowind. Quite honestly.
I do not have a PC copy of Skyrim. I need to buy Skyrim on PC. I never got to play it all the way through. I had it on
Yeah,
PS3, and then
I don't have it.
lost
Or
it.
I have it on PS3. I haven't played it all the
But
way.
there
I mean,
was
I have it on PC. Sorry.
there was a mod project called like Moro Sky or something, and it's like the full-fledged Morrowind game made by a group of modders inside the Skyrim
Ooh.
game. Like they modded Skyrim to be Morrowind 100%.
Wow.
And I really wanted to play that because Morrowind was just, it was so good. It was so in depth.
Yeah.
It was insane. And like I have to reiterate that game was on consoles, man. Like I played it on console, Xbox original and PC, and PC had some amazing mods and you could do some crazy housing and like really cool stuff. But even on console, man, like Morrowind on console, probably still the best RPG on consoles to date.
Yeah.
Just
For sure.
so fucking good.
So what games, Cyril, just to kind of shake it up a little bit, what games are you
Shake
looking
it
forward
off.
to in the next, say, year?
What games am I looking forwards to in the next year? EverQuest 3, EverQuest Next, whatever the fuck they want to call it. If it's not out within the next year, I'm probably going to abandon the EverQuest IP.
And that's what you say until EverQuest comes out. EverQuest next.
Oh yeah, if it comes out, like 6 months and 1 day, like I'll still be playing it, even though I just told you if it's not out within 6 months, I'm gonna abandon the entire
Or
IP.
if it comes out in a year, 6 months, you're still gonna play it.
I will, maybe. I will maybe. Honestly, actually, somebody you were bringing up Final Fantasy. Shrips says brings up Final Fantasy 7 as the best RPG on consoles. I disagree. I'm a big 8 fanboy. Like I liked 8.
I loved 8 too.
I thought 8 was
Loved 8.
vastly superior to 7, even with its bugs. It was just vastly superior. But
I might do. I think I might do a. I was gonna do it before, and I stopped because I got pissed off in my emulator. I think I'm gonna do a Final Fantasy, at least a couple of the Final Fantasy games.
so Final Fantasy 14 is offering a free 14-day trial, and I've heard that that game is doing tremendously well. That
It's boring.
they've
I mean,
got like several million paying subscribers.
that's awesome.
They're making money, no signs of stopping, and that they're doing well. 14 days. I think I might give it a try for the 14 days. I have no plans of buying and then paying a $15 subscription fee.
Right.
But for 14 days, the way I play video games, like 3 days consecutively without sleep, I should be able to hit endgame in 14 days.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I've been thinking about trying that out. I think they have a new
It's
expansion
not.
coming out, and
It's not a bad idea. However, like I said, I mean, just depending on what kind of gameplay you like, it's real. They tried to make it. The funny part is that with 14, they tried to make it slow down to a more of like a almost a turn-based. It's not actually a turn-based, but they kind of made it feel like it because it's the combat's so slow and you're waiting. I think the global cooldown is 2.5
like
seconds.
Final Fantasy 12 with that
Yeah.
weird like line arc.
Yeah, yeah.
Time
So-
based. It's not turn based. It's time based.
So yes, exactly. So quite literally, and I'm being exactly honest, 2.5 seconds is the global cooldown on abilities. It's not the combat is not fun.
Okay, so Skyforge Open Beta 2 starts in like
Oh.
3 days.
Like, yes,
So I'm hoping I get in on that because that looks like the action-packed quintessential theme park MMO
it's so good. Yeah,
right now. Like
if anybody wants to see Skyforge,
super
by the way,
action-packed.
I will most definitely be playing it for the entire, or at least a lot of the next beta, and hopefully Serial will be able to as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna pull up blah 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 blah.
But the beta starts 3 days from now.
So there's
Yeah.
the link to their website. Sign up for the beta. It looks really cool. It's very much an action-based
Yeah,
MMO.
And I've played it. I bought into it. Unfortunately, we I don't know if you know, but we were giving away. We gave away 2 copies of it. However, because you can't just give away copies of it, we had to give money. So we gave 2 people $20. Neither of them bought the game, which was sad.
Aww.
But it's so good. It's so much fun, and I can't say how like great it's gonna be. We played it literally for probably 20 of the 48 hours, and a bunch of us played it. My brother played it. My sister-in-law played it. Kari played it a little bit. I played it a lot. I thought it was freaking awesome. The only thing that was upsetting to me was that it ended too early. Basically, they didn't have all the story ready, which is a thing. I mean, it's expected.
Right.
But I got to the end of the closed beta 1 story, and I was like, oh. No, it's not on Steam. You can't gift it through Steam, so you have to just go to their website and buy in. And so I wasn't able to give it away. Unfortunately, like I said, I gave away $20 twice.
Right.
Neither of the people bought it.
So yeah, you can go to that website, that link, and you can sign up for beta and cross your
Or you can buy
fingers,
in.
or you can buy in at 20, 50, and
20, 50 or
70.
70. Yeah.
$70 buy-ins.
We
But
were
I do
lucky.
believe it's gonna be a free
It
to
is gonna be free to
play,
play. Yep.
no monthly, no nothing,
Right.
just download and play game.
Yeah. We were lucky
By a
enough to have
company I'm
our
not familiar
teammate,
with.
buy it for us, so that was really cool.
That's what I was confused, is like the quality of this game compared to, if I looked at some of the other games they make mobile games. It looks like they got their start in the
Mhm.
iOS Android sphere, and
Right.
this is really their first PC game.
And it's legit.
It looks good as hell. It looks great.
Yeah. I don't know how they did it. It looks legit though.
You
I
know
mean,
how
it
much
is legit.
money is you know how much money there is to be made in the mobile sphere?
Hmm.
Like,
And there's a couple things that probably need to change about it. It's not perfect, but they're still in beta. That's just what we were talking about earlier. Is that, being able to look at a game and noticing that it's in beta and not worrying about, not sweating the small stuff that's easily fixable. If you think the game engine is bad and all that blah blah blah, then it's gonna be a bad thing because they're not changing the game engine most likely. But they can pretty much change anything else, and like I said, it's really good. So it's very cool.
yeah, I'm looking into it. I'm kind of excited to
It's
try
called
it.
Skyforge, SKY Forge. Didn't you put it up on the thing? Yeah, just click on the link, guys.
Yeah, click the link.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a lot of fun. I was excited. I actually didn't hear about it until about a week ago or a week before the first beta. My friend was like, it's a guy that I've been playing MMOs with since SWTOR, and so he was like, if anybody in my channel knows him, he's Animus. He doesn't come in that much, but he was like, "Hey, I've been looking at this game called Skyforge. You should look into it." And so I did, and I was like, "Well, that looks pretty legit. It looks like a lot of fun. The graphics are good. It looks
Yeah, the
fluid.
graphics are fucking amazing looking. It
Yeah,
looks very fluid, and it's very much action based combat.
yeah.
It very
It does
much
action right.
it very much looked like Guild Wars like 3.5 or something to me. Like,
Yeah, like I said earlier, to me, it felt like Terra meets Guild Wars 2 in a good way.
in a good way, like in the best way.
Yeah,
So let's hope they can flesh out their world and their lore a little bit. Like, I know we all like double click bypass storyline and we don't give a fuck, but
usually in beta especially, because if I want to play a game, I want to start it to where I can play it all the way through. So it, if I do read lore, it's not going to be in a beta.
yep. Okay, well there's a good argument for our earlier EA pros cons list. On my side,
Hmm.
con, those of us that are excited about a game before it comes out, we play through learning the wrong way to play it.
Right.
We get good at playing it the wrong way. We get attached to our characters, our skills, our equipment that we earned, and then a wipe occurs and everything's different, and we show up and we're like, "Hey, man, this isn't the game we tested. This isn't the game we've been playing for the last year, 2 years."
I was
I
just Legendary
I
Reference,
don't
was
want
just
to
giving
start
an
over.
example. Right. No, I agree with you. That's actually it. Actually, I expected it, but it took the air out of my sail. Took the air out of my sails when it happened in H1Z1 because I just had my base getting built up. Someone knocked it down, which pissed me off, but it was fine. But then we had the wipe and it was gone, and then someone else built there before I logged back in, and I could never find out who it was, and I couldn't break the base, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just play H1, or I guess I'll just play BRs now. It took the air out of my sails completely.
Yeah. That's kind of a pro con of this whole sandbox environment, is that the land rush, the initial excitement of, oh my god, it's new and anything is possible, versus a couple weeks, a month, whatever later, when the diehards have cemented themselves in a place of power that is indisputable and unobtainable by the general masses that start once the game is mainstream, you know?
Right.
I mean, there's ways of dealing with that. I do believe in H1Z1 they talked about, like, fort deterioration, if forts have health, but not only that, they also have, like, a deterioration factor, where, like, initially shacks would, like, just disappear if they weren't modified within 7 days or something. So, I mean, there's ways of dealing with that, but it's hard to make a growing, persistent world that also is not too overbearingly harsh on the new player experience. How do we make the evolution of the world getting older and us getting more powerful, but also when someone starts, the world is still new to them and underpowered and...
Well, and another thing for or against early access is players like me who go and play it at a con, and then we get it in early access, and within a day they take away one of the very cool features, which was the weather. It was never dynamic weather, but it was weather. We literally do not have rain anymore.
What?
In H1Z1.
I haven't played H1Z1 for over a month now, and
Yeah.
H1Z1, one of the cutting edge things about H1Z1 day one when I started hearing about it,
It's going to be the weather.
The
and
weather.
How that affected your person.
and
They don't have rain even.
The idea that
what
they were-
cut out of the game.
the idea that they said that they were going to be able to leverage the extensive weather mechanics and code that they were creating and implementing for H1Z1 into the PlanetSide engine base so that they could use that alongside the Forge Light engine. I said PlanetSide, but the Forge Light engine base, so that they could implement that in games such as PlanetSide 2 or EverQuest Next or H1Z1. And the weathers that they showed off were gorgeous. Even in the early days, like when they had problems with that oversaturated super high gamma apocalyptic snowfest, like that still looked gorgeous.
Right.
And they were talking about how, like, we'd be able to hunt and track our prey through footsteps in the snow. And now
That's not a thing.
No, now they've completely even abandoned the fact that rain will splash in rivers or off
Or
of
even
windshields
happen.
or
We
even
also-
exist altogether.
We also during the cons we had salmon in the rivers. There are no salmon anymore. There's no life in the rivers. You could drive a car through the river because it's only ankle high.
Oh yeah,
Or
because
because
rivers.
they don't have a swimming animation.
Yeah, you walk on top of the water. Rivers are not rivers. There's no river. There's no lake. They're all like ankle-high ponds. And like last time I looked, your ankles didn't even go in the ponds. They float on top of the ponds. And what was super fucked up is if you downed an enemy on a water area, they like fell below the water level and you couldn't loot them.
I haven't seen that.
That was like the entire period of H1Z1 that I played, like the first month and a half that it launched. If you felled the deer in the river, you could not chop it with your axe to get the venison. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't interact with it because it was below the water animation barrier, and it was just uninteractable. Like I haven't played H1Z1 for a while. Maybe I should jump in and go kill some people.
BRs are fun.
But yeah, man, it's crazy how H1Z1, EverQuest Next, any game, like how a year before it goes on early access, they can do their press release and show off all this awesome shit that never shows up in game. Never. Or it shows up in a test and then they remove it, and when headline articles are coming out, they still push the ideas that it's going to be able to do this, or it would have been if we would have given it more time and money, but we just gave up. Like, it was able to do this when we unveiled it at our tech demo, but we got rid of it because fuck you. Like, how do they take that many steps backwards? The press demo for EverQuest Next was beautiful.
It won all these awards. It was the best game at E3 or whatever. Like, this game that we haven't even seen yet.
What are we, like, 2.5 years later now?
And yeah, and this game was winning awards 2.5 years ago, but we still can't even see it.
And I'm still terrified that it's going to disappear into the obscurity of vaporware. Like, I'm so terrified it's just going to poof, gone.
That's gonna if this game ends up not being a game that I want to make my home in, that's gonna make me sad as a gamer. It's gonna really set me back a little bit.
Right? Like, I was laying everything I had and loved on SOE on EverQuest 3 for several years, and they fucked me around and fucked me around, and then they gave me something awesome. And then the year I thought I was going to get that something awesome, they took it back and said, here's the tools to make that something awesome. Like, we're not going to make you something awesome.
Yeah,
you make us something awesome.
Right. And remember back in May-ish...
And turns out, the whole time they were announcing that, it was already insider information that they were trying to sell the company.
Right. Do you remember in, like, May-ish of when they first told us...
disappointed.
It was May-ish of last year, or maybe right before SOE tickets went on sale, 2014. They told us we would have a playable version of EQN, not Landmark, but EQN, by SOE Live.
By next SOE Live, yeah.
Right, by SOE Live 2014.
That was directly quoted by multiple sources, including Dave Georgeson saying it like 1,000 times because he was the charismatic, energetic head of
and we had
the brand.
The only thing that we got at SOE Live 2015 was a 5-minute video of not even gameplay of a new class, of one new class. And some, like, or maybe 2 new classes.
The year
like
before that, they had They had like 6 devs playing like PvP.
We didn't even get that.
Like, they went back. They went so far back. And then it was, this 2 years before we even got PvP in Landmark.
Right.
And then another couple months for PvE, and now we're like 2.5 fucking years later into EverQuest Next.
Did we have some huge
EverQuest Landmark
huge reimagining that we weren't told about?
Not that I know of. Not since the sandbox design. No, I remember.
Well, that's what we think, but
I remember being
we weren't told about.
EverQuest.
It seems like we're further behind than we were 2 years ago.
EverQuest 3 version 2, I remember seeing photos of, and it was supposed to be like the physics engine, and they showed off like hair, like individual beard strands blowing in the wind and shit, like stupid stuff. Like, and they're like, EverQuest 3 is going to be the most physics-based game ever. Like, everything will respond to atmospheric effects and weight and gravitational pull and destruction and, like, all these cool physics things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, the next year they scrapped it.
Right.
And then we didn't hear anything at all the year after that. And then the next year we hear voxels, I think. I don't know. It's been a long fucking time coming.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like I feel like there must have been some kind of setback that we're not being told because we would freak, obviously, as a community, if we hear that there's been another setback. But why have? Just because the reason why I think that is we were promised a game 6 months ago that was pretty much done. We were promised 6 months ago. So that's what we were promised a year ago. Was the game that was pretty much done as of 6 months ago. Now, come August, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, whatever, we were told that we'd be getting just loads of information. It doesn't even matter. It's not a big deal that we didn't get much information at SOE Live, and they basically made it okay that they didn't give us anything at SOE Live because we were going to be getting information all year long.
Yes,
So don't worry
because
about
they
it.
they gave you a voucher on your ticket for a in-game item for
Yeah.
EverQuest Next. Like in-game item for
And
EverQuest
that's
Next.
telling
That
me that
means
it's going to be before the next SOE Live, which we all thought was going to be this
yes,
August.
everybody, man. Like
Yeah.
everybody. I had an account here, home, like scraping pennies and dimes, making it out to Vegas this year because they all but
Yeah.
guaranteed that everyone that made it to Vegas this year was going to get a copy of EverQuest Next Landmark. We were going to be able to play it there during the event. And, like that's been the SOE mentality. You go to SOE Live, you get a copy of the new expansions for all their games that year. Like,
Which we did.
like that's the way it did. It did last year. Like that's what I was saying, and they were hinting towards the mentality that, hey man, next year if you buy your tickets, as soon as spring starts, as soon as we do the pre-orders, buy your tickets because as soon as fall hits, you're gonna be here in Vegas. You're gonna be getting drunk, and you're gonna be playing EverQuest 3 with us,
Right.
guaranteed. It's
Exactly.
EverQuest 3 next August in Vegas.
Yep.
All the while knowing like a year before they said that, hey man, we're trying to sell the company. And like if any of us would have even looked into it, like it wasn't like they were even trying to hide it. They just didn't
Right.
tell us. They were shopping. They were up for sale. Like several companies knew about it. Like it's not like it was this super secret fucking Illuminati thing. They're a publicly traded company. Like
Right.
nobody just gave a fuck enough to like think that they were trying to sell out their entire base of operations and IP catalog. Like nobody saw that coming.
Apparently,
I didn't. I
I
didn't.
didn't, but it's not my
I
job
drank.
to either.
Yeah, no, man. I drank the fucking Kool-Aid. Oh, it didn't come out 6 years ago. Didn't come out 5 years ago. 4, 3. Okay, next year. 2, 1. No, it's not here. Okay, next year, man.
Yeah.
I'll give you $100 and help you make the game. Like, so long as I get to play EverQuest 3 next year. You promise, right? You promise? Okay, cool. Thank you for the video. You're going to have Oculus Rift support? That sounds amazing. Look at all these devs. Look at the fact that you're going to put my name on the fucking credits. Like,
Yep.
thank you, man. Thank you, guys. This is awesome. You're really fucking kicking ass. Oh, shit. It was all a ploy to bring up your sales in order to sell off the corporation? Fuck you. Fuck you, Sony. Fuck you. Like,
Yep.
that's what it was. It was all this big ploy to get us happy and placent and get us to throw money at something that may or may not ever exist, and whether or not they could get enough money gave them the idea. Evidently, we gave them just enough money to put a fresh coat of paint on things and sell it off to an investment firm for twice what it's worth because they actually don't have anything out. They just have this new age EA mentality of make a half-ass game and charge people 6 months before we ever even start development on the half-ass game we're going to release in 2 years.
Right.
God damn it, I love SOE, but like I feel bad about talking all this shit, but this is my
I
show.
know.
I will rant, I will talk shit because they hurt my feelings.
Exactly.
You broke
Exactly.
my heart. I trusted you, and you broke my fucking heart, guys.
Jerks.
Yeah, you jerks. You jerky jerks. I need another drink.
Yeah. I was the person that was before anything was really even announced, and it wasn't as long as you've known about it, but before they even announced anything about when we just had a couple screen captures, like we had a swamp area, we had the reimagining of Quenos, or I'm sorry, Freeport. like a human face. That's all we had. By the way, that human face is now garbage. It means nothing. It's not a thing anymore. And that human face was the most epically gorgeous human face in the world. By the way, just saying.
It was.
But I had those screenshots up as my screensavers or my Windows screens because every single day I logged into my computer to see if there was any news. Every single day without fail. And then when finally they say something and I'm like, this is it. It's coming now. Like it's a thing. They told us that it's coming, and then it doesn't, and it's so long, and it's still not coming, and it's still not coming, and they still keep telling us it's coming, but it's just not coming.
Yeah.
Man.
I wonder if I could
just-
outreach to some of the old timers of the EverQuest community and see if maybe I could get them to come on this show or come on Twitch and see what they have to say because
Yeah.
like I know a few like I'm not friendly with them, but I've run across them in game and I've listened to their podcasts. There's a few. I mean, like EverQuest is definitely it's got a diehard cult fan following. Like it's a great game and they have some diehard people and like I know there's people that used to go to Fanfare every year. Since the last couple of years, they started offering the player panels and stuff. They've been doing those, and like there is a huge community of people that are just like completely engrossed in this IP. And I'd like to see what some of those older people hitting their early 50s now that were like computer nerds and custom built their gaming PCs in 1999 off of their tech salary. Like I'd like to see what they think about the way the era of SOE is going. Like there used to be back in the EverQuest era, there used to be like 4 or 5 different podcasts that I used to listen to before Twitch was cool. It was internet vlogs, internet audio diary bullshit, podcasts. And I used to listen to a lot of those people. And there's a huge community that really existed around that. And like the whole internet early, 1999, early 2000s era of like forums and stuff. Like there's a lot of old school people that just refuse to fucking log on to Facebook or Reddit or whatever. But they're still
Right.
on EverQuest 1 forums posting every day about tips and tricks and raid strategies and ideas for new games and stuff, and they're old school. Like as much as I wish I was old school, there are people much wiser and older than myself that I'd like to hear their opinion,
Yeah, for sure.
especially in such a cult classic like this, man. Like I remember the first time I ever heard about EverQuest was not in 1999. I was not playing EverQuest in 1999. I think it was probably like late 2000s, or 2000, early 2001. I heard a story about a man who locked his children in the closet for the weekend while he played EverQuest, and his children died. And he like went to prison for life for like manslaughter and stuff. And like just this crazy stuff like TV Guide. You guys remember TV Guide sitting on your coffee table?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
TV Guide 2000 had Fiona Vey on the cover. Like and just all this weird like man, this is like cutting edge science fiction shit, man. This isn't a game. This ain't no fucking game. This is like new age digital life. Like SOE, man, like it really captured and owned that for quite a few years. And I mean,
Yeah.
they stole it from the Ultima Online really created it, but they stole it and they brought it into that Polygon 3D, more caring about your character. And I don't know, Ultima Online is great, you can't take away from Ultima, but it doesn't hold a candle to EverQuest 1. EverQuest 1
Right.
just fucking so light years beyond anything else.
Yep.
Are you playing Minesweeper?
I am.
That sounds like a Minesweeper rhythm to clicking. How the fuck did I know that?
That is really crazy.
Fuck you, I'm just gonna play Hearthstone during our show then.
Minesweeper is something I can do mindlessly, though.
Yeah, because the first word isn't mind or anything. Like, you have to pay attention.
Mine sweeper, not mind sweeper.
No, sweep my mind, because it's dirty as shit.
I agree.
Somebody needs to clean that up.
By the
So-
way, Minesweeper is amazing, so shut up.
Are you still #1 ranked Minesweeper streamer?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Always and forever.
Always and forever.
I'll never have the info to back it up, but I was literally streaming Minesweeper for over 80 people the other day.
I know at one point you were legitimately the #1 Minesweeper streamer in the world. At
yeah.
least on like a handful of occasions. 2 handfuls of occasions.
Yeah. Every time I've ever played Minesweeper, I've been the #1 Minesweeper player in the world, so...
I've honestly never seen anyone else stream Minesweeper. Like,
I haven't
ever, any time of day.
Right. That's because they're not legit. And I'm too legit to quit. Car just gave me a pity laugh.
Click, click,
From,
click, click.
From,
Too
from
legit to
being
quit.
asleep. Yeah. Too legit to click?
Too legit to quit.
Yeah.
Click.
Hey, it's Robin. Robin hasn't been in any of our channels for like a decade.
Robin? Jesus
Remember
Christ.
Robin? Jeez. Hey, Robin. Welcome back.
I was told you died in a train accident.
I don't know who would tell you that. That's terrible.
Well,
You know some jerky people.
I do. Look who I spend my Saturday evenings with.
I know.
Well, I'm glad you didn't get decapitated.
Decapitated.
I'm glad you're here and not dead by a train.
Dilapidated. Crap-tapilated. You're making me lose my
Decaffeinated. I'm playing Hearthstone now.
This is such an awesome talk show. To sit here while play games and not, like, kind of listen to each other at this point.
I'm winning. It's
Nice.
turn 2, but I'm winning. Ish.
Hey, everybody. Is there a topic you guys want to hear about? You guys want to hear us rant about something?
I've watched my views go from like 16 to like 35, down to like 20, back up to like 33, down to 15. Like, I have no idea what's going on here.
It's something that's been happening lately. If there's buffering, you actually lose that view until they're done buffering. Did you know that?
No, that's awful.
Right?
I have a pretty low bit rate set on my stream because, you know, we're not
Me
partnered or anything. I think I have like 1700. I'd have to check.
Yeah, mine's really decrapinated. Yeah.
Decrapinated.
So anyway, more about that crow fall or something. Does that look a lot? I mean, it's going to be voxel based. Are they kind of trying to steal the EverQuest Next out of EverQuest Next?
I remember EverQuest Next saying, "Hey, like during the teaser trailers, like 3 years ago now. Jesus Christ, they were like showing off, you know, like, hey, it's in a black box and we're making a game. Look, we have this office door that has a key card code required and nobody can come in. You can't come in, haha." And
I remember that, and I remember they revealed that.
yeah,
Some huge reveal that showed us nothing.
yeah. So,
Anyway.
but they were saying we don't want to show too much because we're afraid of corporate espionage. We're afraid of companies stealing our ideas and getting them to market before us. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier with like Planet Explorers and My Dream. They're not as smooth nor as polished, but they have many more features playable today.
Right.
And that's the problem.
And I can tell you from firsthand that My Dream is pretty satisfying to build in.
It is.
It's fun. It's satisfying. It feels good.
But I'm not
So,
looking for a building game. I want
right.
to build inside my RPG MMO.
Me too. Me too. Exactly. I want to build, like I've always thought when I saw player housing, my first question was, can I build the house or am I putting down a template? That's what caught me so hard with EverQuest Next and Landmark, is that I wasn't putting down a template. I was building my house in Landmark and then presenting it to EverQuest Next, and they were saying yay or nay whether I could have it in the game or not. That's how they sold it at first. I don't even know if that's what their plan is now, but that's how they sold it to us.
Yeah.
Is that you build your house in Landmark, and then you say, listen, I want to put this house that I just built in Landmark over at EQN. That means I get to literally build my own house out of square blocks and have it in my game, and that's so personal to me in my story that I built my own house with my bare hands. That's amazing.
You know, honestly, I think it was kind of like an oversight that they patched up real fucking quick and tried to sweep under the rug. But during like the first month or two, even perhaps, of alpha in Landmark, you didn't have to have a claim to build anything. Like, you could build
Right.
anywhere in the world, and I do believe that was an intended mechanic until
Mm-hmm.
they realized, initially during the alpha stages, what was happening was if you had 20 copper or whatever, you could lay down a 20 copper brick that you had harvested. Everyone in alpha had your 20% gain to harvested
Right.
materials. So they were essentially duping 20 or, point 20% or whatever of every item, and so they had to remove that feature. But during that early first month and a half where you could build anywhere, people could destroy anything that wasn't on a claim, but you could still build anywhere out of any
Right.
material, and that
Right.
was super fun. But it became game breaking,
Right. Yeah,
and
I know I did it.
that's
When I
a
when I needed more ruby, I threw down a ruby and then I got
oh,
more ruby.
everybody did it, but it
Script Chaz, are you talking to me? Are you saying that I don't know about EQN because I said something wrong? Because I would challenge you on that.
yeah, I hope you're fucking talking about me, because this is my channel.
Well, I think he's saying about my building thing because that is actually what they said. But go ahead, challenge me on that.
No, that was 110% what they said.
Yeah,
Like, they said, hey, man, like, we want to play
it was
EverQuest
all
Next
that was
as
a
much as you, but we need people to help us build it.
okay dungeon. Okay, I was gonna say that I know 100% what I'm talking about. Anyway, go on.
But, so several years ago, they added Dungeon Maker as an expansion pack to EverQuest 2.
Hmm.
You got, like, a plot of land, and you could, like, change the walls and put up new walls and floors and ceilings and add NPCs and script them to talk and do all kinds of really fucking cool shit. That was about the same time they added SOE mode. And then we found out all of this was kind of more or less beta testing for EverQuest Next.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really beta testing, it was more alpha testing inside an existing game, the mechanics we would like to use inside this new game that we may or may not be making.
Right.
And
Tell Cujo she's not allowed to listen to music anymore.
Wow, I can't hear anything with my headphones on except for that last bit. Like, I heard a... Like, I have no idea what she's watching. She's just, like, grinning ear to ear, shaking her head at me. She's probably watching Disney Channel. Nickelodeon! Sorry, guys. It's Nickelodeon. What are you watching? Sanjay and Craig. There you go, Nickelodeon.
Oh, jeez.
Send me a check. I don't even know what I just plugged, but I just plugged something.
Something stupid. Hey, should I have another glass of gin?
You should.
I think so, too.
The only thing worthwhile watching on Nickelodeon right now is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
The remake of Ninja Turtles by Nickelodeon is fan-fucking-tastic. It is delicious.
I will literally watch anything Ninja Turtles. I don't even care.
You need to. I know that you haven't watched the 2012 series.
I have not.
Go watch it.
Very
It's
true.
getting great. It's getting so good. They just brought back the Mighty Mutanimals. Do you remember Mighty Mutanimals?
I do.
Yeah, like the offshoot of the Ninja Turtles, like all the weird mutants, like creating
Yeah.
their own team. They just
Right.
brought those back, like Leatherhead and Pigeon Pete and Slash. They've got their own little team fighting the Krang in New York. Krang is now, instead of like this one exiled Dimension X beast, he's now like this creature that rules Dimension X. It's like a species, and just go watch it. Go watch it. Go watch it. Do it now. Everyone,
Must.
if you have to exit out of the stream right now to go watch Ninja Turtles, I forgive you. It's the only time I'll forgive you. But
For anything, ever.
yeah, more or less. But just do that for me, because it's so good.
That sounds amazing.
It's great.
Have
It
you
really
seen
is.
the new Ninja Turtles?
The
movie?
live action movie?
Yeah.
I did. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. Because that was a movie that was in production for quite a few years, and internet era, we got leaks way before things happened, and then they restarted, and it was okay. Megan Fox needs to stop sucking her way into roles in movies that she
Agreed.
has no part in being in.
Agreed.
Like, Megan
I was
Fox
thinking-
I have no physical attraction to Megan Fox. I hate it every
No.
time someone's like, Megan Fox is so hot.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Megan Fox is the Grim Reaper of my childhood right now. Transformers, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. It's terrible. It's terrible. And since when was April O'Neil not a redhead? for
If
one?
she ends up being like She-Ra in the live-action Thundercats movie, which has
she
not
will.
been announced yet, but
Oh, she will.
God damn it, I'll shoot myself just to be done with this fucking world. Like, I'm never gonna get close enough to pull off a clean shot with her bodyguards in the way, so
Right? So you can't shoot her.
I'm just
Gotta
gonna
shoot
end
somebody.
it. I'm just gonna end it.
You gotta shoot somebody. No, but okay. So I actually have a thought about who I thought should be April O'Neil. What do you think? I can back mine up.
God,
So
I'm
make it good.
really bad with names
Tell me what
for
movies they've
actresses.
been
I had a few good ideas when it first came out. I would have loved to have seen I'm gonna have to Google it. Laura Prepon from That 70s Show, Donna.
Okay, I can see it, but
Give her.
I can. Okay.
I could have seen that if it was going to be like a more like gritty like Eastman and Laird Mirage Comics Ninja Turtles. Like, I could see her being like a serious, because she's tall. She's way too fucking tall. Other than that, like it should have been a redhead. It needed to be a redhead. That's what's
Or at
driving me
least someone
fucking
who can Pull
nuts.
that off.
Or like, if it was gonna be like 80s, or not 80s, sorry, like yeah, late 80s, the cartoon Ninja Turtles, like comedy style Ninja Turtles live action,
Which is
like
what it kind of ish was.
in parts,
I mean,
that
yeah, it
comedical
had both.
satire I would have loved to have seen. I don't know, like fucking Emma Stone or something,
That's the
because
exact
she's
person.
gorgeous.
No, and it's even better than comedic satire. I mean, that's the
She
exact person
does
that I was
that well
thinking of.
though. She does like
Oh
that.
yeah, oh yeah. But then she's also more of the classy type. So she would fit, kind of a news reporter that wants to wants to be something. She's really good at emotional type, things. So I thought that was an easy pick.
Yeah, that and I totally want a boner. So, I mean, so yeah, that would have been good. Fuck, man, and pretty much anyone, but
Anyone but her, yeah.
but
Megan
her,
Fox.
but Megan Fox would have been good. Just
I hope that Megan Fox just stops acting.
please.
It's the worst. It's the worst thing in Hollywood right now. Or the world, possibly. What question?
I know. I'm being
Alright, go through
answer
them.
the
How do you feel
goddamn
about-
question.
How do you feel about the most recent episode of the new TMNT comic book where Bebop and Rocksteady
Murder Donatello with a sledgehammer? Oh my god, it's sold out everywhere. I haven't been able to get my hands on it. It's sold out everywhere. Like in like hours within opening. Every comic shop. It was like $200 on eBay the other day for some stupid reason.
Neurotoxin's a dick for telling you what happened.
No, I knew what happened. That's why I'm freaking out because I am Donatello. Donatello
Right.
does machines, motherfucker. Like purple, bow staff, intelligence, like he's not dead though. You know he's not dead. Like I'm so pissed he's not dead. He's dead in the comics. He's not dead. Man, like I'm so excited to see like gritty Mirage style, like or it's IDW now. IDW is doing like the new Ninja Turtles comic books, and they're getting kind of back into that gritty era of Ninja Turtles because, like, if you remember, most people don't. Original comic book Ninja Turtles, they were slitting people's throats and like.
Right.
They were fucking people up. Like, they were badasses. They were legit ninjas. They weren't like, Cowabunga pizza party, dudes! And, like, they were hardcore, like, fighting gangbangers and, like, the mafia. And, like, it was legit. Like, people got messed up in that show.
Well, they kind of brought a little bit of it back without going into an R rating. In the new live action, where they're like threatening April O'Neil and things like that.
Yeah,
The subject
the fact
matter
that they
was a little
brought
bit
guns
more-
back.
What's that?
They brought guns back.
Yeah.
Guns were a big no-no in TMNT for a while, like late 90s. The European release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were actually called Teenage Hero Turtles because ninja was seen as too violent and offensive, and they like photoshopped Michelangelo's nunchakus out and like got rid of all the weapons and stuff because like it was too much. And that was during like the comedy Pizza Party Dudes series and the live action Secret of the Ooze movies after the first Ninja Turtles movie came out in 91. When they made the sequel in, what was it, 92, 93? It was like only a year later. Like they started immediately. It was Mothers Against something, blah, 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 bad acronym from the 90s. Like boycotted the movie. And so I didn't know this until recently. I was watching it with my son. I rewatched Secret of the Ooze. There's no weapons. No swords, no nunchucks, no
Really?
bow staff, no nothing. Like
haven't
Mikey
noticed that.
fights with link sausages and like
Yeah, I remember that part.
yeah, like they Leonardo never unsheaths his swords. Like they fight, yeah, and Vanilla Ice. That's the best. Go Ninja. Vanilla Ice in the nightclub at the end. Oh my god. But Yeah, man, things got kind of weird for a while. We're like, it's too violent for kids. We can't have weapons. We can't have cartoon drawn comedic violence. And nowadays, look at what's on fucking PBS, man. Like,
Well,
it's the
that's the way
mentality.
it should be, though. Like, man, parent your kids then. Like, I let my kid like see a little bit and like play games and stuff that are more violent, and it's like if you parent your kids right, then it won't affect them. They don't need to not see a weapon. Come on,
Yeah, no, it.
8-bit raid.
8-bit Ray, thank you so much. Something in 8-bit. How you doing, bud? It always
And a
comes
host.
down to and a host. Thank you so much for the host. But it always comes down to the parenting. You know, whether we're talking about violent video games, violent cartoons.
Casey Jones needed to be in this one too. By the way.
Oh God, Casey Jones. Why? And I thought, who was it? The what's his name? Oh man, brain fart. Too much gin. The
I know what you're talking about. The guy.
the guy, the news buddy of April that
Yeah,
played
I
him.
thought he was going to be Casey Jones.
I did too, and he totally wasn't, but like he could have
No,
been.
he's a little girl. Like he's so.
Okay, but that
weak.
actor has like the sarcastic, witty humor
Yeah, no.
that he could have been. But
He
we
could have
really need like a long-haired, gangly
I think the
Greedo,
actor-
like
he-
skinny, long-haired, gangly Greedo,
Yeah,
rocking
well,
some
the
punk
actor
skates.
The actor could have actually been him. I don't remember the actor's name. It's something that's escaping me.
Oh, it's right there too. I know it. I
He
know I
was
should
in
know it.
Blades of Steel or Blades of Glory or whatever.
He is
Balls of
very much a
Steel.
sarcastic, like dry humor kind of actor.
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett, yes.
Yeah. So even if you took his character, you gave him long hair, you took his character from Blades of Glory, and you put a little bit of stubble on him, that would have been good
Yeah.
enough.
It would have. It would have. The whole idea is we need Casey Jones.
Yes, you can't have it. Oh man.
Casey Jones, man. Is
thought-
that a Jose Canseco bet? I really hope you didn't pay money for that.
Honestly, when they said that, or during at the beginning of the movie when they're talking about the vigilante, I'm like, okay, that could either be Raph or Casey Jones, and I hope it's Casey Jones because we know that Raph's in the movie.
Yeah.
But if the vigilante isn't Casey Jones, he's not in the movie.
I've heard big rumors that, and it's been a while since I've looked because I don't want to, because I don't want to spoil it. But I heard big rumors that Casey Jones and the Krang were going to be in the sequel, and that's already started filming. And I'm sure I could look it up, but
Let's see. I'm gonna look it up right now. TMNT movie scenes expected to be shot in Buffalo.
do they have anything about the actors? The cast?
Let's see. Here, let's see. TMNT. Oop. Whoa.
If they fucking put Ryan Reynolds as Casey Jones, I'm gonna
Oh.
flip a tit.
I'm gonna like. Okay, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles announced for 2016. That's too long. Ugh.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's what I heard. 2016 too.
let's
I got
see.
the rat.
Any
Mama rat?
Nope.
Which rat is that?
The other rat.
That's a food rat. That's not a
It's
pet
not
rat.
biting me, so I'm good.
It appears that we still have Megan Fox.
Ugh. Well, you have to at this point. Like, I hate continuity errors when they change main
Will Arnett's
actors.
still in it.
Why? What was his character even?
Look at her.
Some dick.
Right?
Just
Some
stop it.
TV guy?
She doesn't know you.
Oh man,
knows me.
Uncharted movie is gonna come out during that time too. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I love
Nice.
the Uncharted series. Let's see. The only current direct competition is the R-rated animated. Okay, blah blah blah. Who will direct the sequel? Nobody cares. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, we care, but whatever. With cast members like Will Arnett already talking about their roles in the sequel, expect the studio. Blah 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 blah. So June 3rd, 2016. So we're a little bit over a month or a year away.
Yeah.
So what is it going to be called? Just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2? Let's look it up on IMDb then.
Okay, I'm a huge Turtles fan, like obsessively, like unhealthily so. So originally, this movie was actually, or the first movie was going to be called Ninja Turtles. The initial plot was going to have the Ninja Turtles being space aliens, and they weren't going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's why they look like hulking, full-grown adults.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a flash sequence of them actually being teenagers, like in the sewers, like watching Lady Gaga ordering pizza or something. That was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like the fact that they were like these hulking, like transformer-sized,
Wait.
bulletproof behemoths kind of totally threw me off from the turtle thing.
Why is this the second time I've seen Bebop and Rocksteady today?
I don't know. You
I
follow
don't
me
know
on
what that
Facebook?
is, but Bebop and Rocksteady will be in the sequel. I have no idea who that is.
You don't know who Bebop and Rocksteady are? What are you talking about? The pig and the rhino.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
man, the classic.
I was
Dur,
thinking-
dur, dur.
I was
Like-
thinking like a band or something. I wasn't even thinking there.
Yeah, no, Bebop and Rocksteady, man, the pig and the rhino.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let's see.
They recently brought those back, like 2 weeks ago in the Nickelodeon series. They brought
Mhm.
back Bebop and Rocksteady as new characters, and like they're reinventing some of the old classic villains as new
Some people are
characters.
thinking Taylor Kitsch for Casey Jones. That's what people think it's gonna be. I don't know who he is. Let me look.
Right, I'm looking it up now. Does he look like Casey Jones? He kind of looks like Casey
He's
Jones.
the guy from Seventh Heaven.
He looks like
Isn't he?
Casey Jones. He's got the greasy, thin, long hair.
No, he's not the guy from Seventh Heaven. But is he rugged enough? He looks like a pretty boy. Like he looks too pretty boy. I know that Casey Jones is kind of a pretty boy, but
He is.
look at his jaw. Like
There's
he doesn't
some-
have the jawline.
There's some pictures on Google Images where he's got stubble.
I don't think he has the right jawline. Like it has to be real for me. He doesn't have. He looks like a baby.
Okay, this image right here, like everyone can look a little bit different in any image, but that image right there in chat, that looks like Casey Jones to me.
No, he's not.
That looks like Casey Jones to me.
He's not like Italian enough. He's not. You know. He's not like.
Yeah, he's not Guido enough.
Yeah, he doesn't have an attitude. Like you can
Maybe,
tell.
I don't know. Like, I can't tell attitude from a still image.
Yes, you can though. He looks like a douche.
Do you remember? That's the point, though. He's kind of supposed to be like
You know who
a
I'm thinking of?
cocky douche who thinks he's cool.
I'm thinking of the original the Casey Jones who played in
The live
90s,
action, yeah.
The 90s. Yeah, that's the perfect Casey Jones.
Did you ever see the fanfic Casey Jones? It was pretty good too.
And his name was Elias Cotis.
Yeah, I'm trying to look him up now. He was badass. He was perfect. He had, like, I don't know, because, like, that is Casey Jones to me, because that's the live action Casey fucking Jones. Like,
Right.
I can't say he reminds me of Casey Jones because he is
He
my
is.
memory of Casey Jones. So, given, you know, fucking 15 years of aging and, you know, society changing, like, whoever the fuck that guy's name was, Taylor Kitsch, what he sounds like when he speaks.
Yeah.
It all depends on if he has that, like, bad Jersey accent. Like,
Right.
you know, like, he has to have that, like, that hockey punk slang to his vocabulary, or else
Right.
it's no good.
What's that one show about the kids from Jersey Shore? I bet you there's a kid from Jersey Shore that could be him.
No.
Let me see. I gotta see.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't watch enough of that. But I mean,
I
that's
haven't seen it at all, but that's the kind of like, person.
Casey
No,
Jones. Yeah, Casey
kinda
Jones is
way
this
too douchey.
like over eccentric, like over cocky, kind of moronic, like lower class, underachieving punk, you know? Like,
Yeah.
he's the quintessential 80s punk. Like,
but he's not like he's like a good guy, bad guy.
he's the anti-hero. He's a punk.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the law, but if you piss me off, I'm gonna smack you around with my hockey stick. Like,
Yeah, plus, well, no, because he does care about the law a little. He's
no, he cares about right versus wrong in his
well,
eyes.
Yeah.
He's
No,
a
no,
Batman
yeah.
figure for
You're
sure.
Right, you're right. Yes. So,
I mean, he's sitting on the side of a building spray painting it with nude women, tagging it until like somebody like mugs an old lady across the street, and then he scoots over there and beats their ass.
right. No,
Returns the old lady's purse, and then goes back to tagging, some government building.
right.
Like, that's
No.
Casey Jones.
Yeah. And he's doing it all while like throwing up his shoulders and like throwing
Hey!
his neck around. Hey! And he's gonna be like, you over here, like thumb to the nose, like you gonna beat up an old lady? Like,
You gonna beat up an old lady?
how about you beat up my hockey stick? Like,
Man, I could have been eating pizza right now, and you make me come over here and take care of scum like you,
right?
What's the deal? What's your problem, yo? Like, I can't do it, but
I can't do
the
like,
sentiment's
I can't
there.
either. Yeah, exactly. But
I love Casey Jones.
What do you think about making I could almost see making a like kind of an Evolve type game, but make it with the Ninja Turtles. If you know what the premise of Evolve is, basically
It's a
hunter.
team versus one mutant monster that's overly powerful. I could almost see something like that. Yeah, you have a team of Ninja Turtles. You're like
Versus
scouting an
Shadow
area.
Warrior, yeah.
No, you're scouting an area for mutagen canisters or whatever, and then like all of a sudden, like, oh, some random animal comes across the mutagen and super mutates into a
Or
giant
that, yeah.
behemoth, and then so it's like 4-on-1. Like, either you have to, like, stop the bad guy, you have to collect the mutagen canisters from stopping the mutant from super mutating more and gaining more power, and try to kill him while stopping him from gaining more power because he's immensely overpowered compared to the four of you to begin with. So
I could
it's,
even
like,
see,
strategic
like,
and...
a fully fleshed out, like really nice.
Oh, man, a good Ninja
smooth,
Turtles game would be
retro
awesome.
side scroller.
No! Turtles in Time arcade in the bowling alley will never get better. Like, it'll never get better than that.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's not coming back, Krem. As soon as you invent that time machine, dude, we're going back to play Turtles
I
in
know.
Time, EverQuest 1999,
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet 64. Because, like, Gauntlet in the arcade was okay, but, like, four-player couch co-op on Gauntlet 64.
Yes, it was the best. Stallone, yeah. Well, you know who could actually be a Casey Jones? Not Sylvester Stallone, but Frank Stallone. Look at Frank Stallone. Look him up. He might be a little bit old now, but he's like perfect. Yeah, he's a little bit old now, but like 10 years ago, Frank Stallone would have been amazing.
Oh, yeah, retro. Frank Stallone, yeah, he once again, let's work on that time machine.
Yeah.
Cause he's
Yeah.
there's a few photos where he's rocking like the Jerry curl look. Like, I don't know. Like, that's the thing is like modernizing old school characters based on like the fact that they were cartoon characters, so like they were over the top, dramatically characterized
what?
or personified. Like, how can Casey Jones exist in 2015 looking like an 80s punk Guido?
I
Like,
just found something that might work. Hold on one sec.
in
pull-
the Nickelodeon remake of Ninja Turtles, the animated series, Casey Jones is like 15, and he's kind of like a punk emo kid, and like it translates well. It translates well enough. Like, it's the modern version of that same stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he like paints his face to like look like a skull and wears a hockey mask. getting. I don't know, man. He's like some like swooping bangs, Justin Bieber, black hair, mascara looking kid. But he's also that like less than average intelligence.
Look up Sage Stallone.
You're just like trying to find the youngest member of the Stallone family to play Casey Jones on.
No, I actually saw his picture. He could work if he lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah, no, especially a few of these with his young hair or his long hair, younger.
Yeah,
he could definitely play Casey Jones for
he would
sure.
have to lose a little bit of weight and get a little more chiseled.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, man. The Turtles were like motion cap real people, and then real people with CGI modeling, and then they turned into real 100% CGI, and they scrapped all the other stuff. So they could just make him CGI.
CGI buff.
Yeah, half the people in fucking 300 were obese, and they just like CGI'd pecs on them. So
Really?
like it works. Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. I want them to do that to me in real life.
That's all fucking shadow makeup and CGI to make pecs and six packs and 300. Like all those dudes were like 5'5", 200 pounds of fat. Like it's kind of sad.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, dude, this is probably the most convincing one. Although he's a little hefty. Looking at his face though, like the facial look, he looks kind of dumb. He's got the right hair and that goofy I don't know what's going on grin. Like, yeah, he could totally play a Casey Jones figure.
Throw the link up.
Throw the link up. All right. Nope, I broke it. Damn you, Kremcheck. Okay, well, there's the Wikipedia page because I copied the wrong link.
That works. He does look really dumb. Wait, he died.
Oh, well, shit. Well, he can't be Casey Jones then.
He died of a heart attack 2 years ago.
What?
At 36.
Wow.
Sylvester Stallone's son. I think I remember that, actually.
I don't, because I don't keep track of that sort of thing. That's a fucking bummer, dude. Sylvester Stallone is still, like, kicking hardcore. He's going to be in The Expendables 7. And, like, he still looks good, and his 30-something-year-old son died of a heart attack, and that dude, Sylvester Stallone, doesn't even have his original face anymore.
Well, it's probably drugs, I'm assuming. I know he was depressed. Sage Stallone was. He was a very depressed guy. So it could have been drugs, I suppose.
You don't think Sylvester Stallone does drugs? Are you kidding me?
Sylvester Stallone is actually like he's the human growth hormone king.
Yeah, I mean, like...
But he has...
And how old is he? He's got to be old as shit now.
He was born... He's 60... Holy crap. He is
68 I was going to say, he's like hitting 70. I almost wanted to say he was 70. 68 years old. Can you imagine that? Fucking 70 years old burying your 30-year-old son? That's fucked.
Yeah. And
that's got to be hard.
A pimp, dude.
He does, man.
I mean, he's got wrinkles, but if you've seen his body, like, he's legit. He's actually he's pretty much the same as he used to be. Oh, he's looking really old actually now though.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the last thing I seen him in was The Expendables. And
well, take a look at this. This is without makeup right here. So this is no Expendables makeup. I put the link in the channel here. I mean, you can't see any muscles or anything, which he legitimately has. But
loading. Oh my god!
He's looking wrecked.
Dude, his face looks like it's gonna just like fall off, like melt off to the left side.
But I actually know somebody who like met him just a couple years ago and knows his doctor, and his doctor, like, he said that Stallone is in the shape of like a 40-year-old, legitimately, and like in the prime of his life, basically. And he takes human growth hormone every day. Like it's crazy how much he.
Dude, scrolling down to the bottom of some of these pictures, his nose is like totally on the left side of his face though now.
Yeah,
Like
oh, yeah.
it's like it was always kind of crooked. It had that like characteristic, neat crook, but like his face is just like melted to the left side.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he's looking old in the face, but he still looks like a tank in the chest. Like
Oh yeah, totally. Did you ever play Guild Wars 2?
I did.
So you own it. You should play it.
I tried to replay. They have or had or just launched a new expansion
It's coming out soon.
real soon. They've been hyping it for a couple months.
I'm definitely playing it. I heard that it was ridiculously awesome at PAX East.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that Guild Wars
They're
2
coming out with a
was
new
the
class.
be all end all of MMOs when it came
Well,
out.
it's not that, but they're coming out with a new
It's
class,
okay.
which is legit. Another thing that's happening is that they're introducing Guild Wars back to Guild Wars,
Okay, well that sounds important.
so that's good.
Yeah.
Because in Guild Wars 1, like one of the biggest selling points was the Guild Wars.
Guild Wars, yeah.
But
My weirdest
didn't
thing
have
about
the-
Guild Wars was when I started Guild Wars, I'd played World of Warcraft, I'd played EverQuest 2, I'd played a few other MMOs. What the hell was with the instance overworld in Guild Wars? That threw me off so
Guild
bad.
Wars 1,
Guild Wars 1 had instance overworld, yeah.
I literally only played it for like 10 minutes.
Okay, so
I got a couple classes and I was like, "Oh, this is stupid." I hate when when places combine classes and they do a really bad job at it. I'm sorry for Guild Wars 1 fans, but they did a really bad job at combining classes. And that's the exact same thing I'm talking about with FF14. Is that if you're combining two classes together, if you're making a warrior and a mage, and you could either play as a warrior or a mage, just depending on what you want, that's stupid. If you combine a warrior and a mage, you should get a completely different set of abilities.
No, you
Called
get
a battle mage.
Yeah, you get your battle mage or your spell sword. You get a mage that has the ability to double its strength while reducing its constitution by half, or you light your sword on fire with this ever burning flame. Like that, it's not either or. It's something new.
Right. Exactly. Just like, and that's the exact same thing I was talking about with Final Fantasy, where when you get your epic class or whatever, and you become a bard, and you're not a bard, you're still a freaking.
Nope. I don't know. I didn't play
Doesn't
Final
work.
Fantasy. I just want to be a dragoon so I can leap anywhere on the field.
It just does. A dragoon is not a dragoon. It's a whatever the base classes were, and you get
Fuck
maybe
that.
one ability. You get one different ability.
Nope, Final Fantasy Tactics, man. The Dragoon.
Let's see. I'm trying to find out when it comes out.
I've been hearing things for quite a while about this Guild Wars 2 expansion, though.
I just go to gwt.com. That's a thing, right?
But yeah, Guild Wars 1, the only places that were like MMOs were the cities. And you built a party, like a 4-man party, and then if you left the city with your 4-man party, then you were in the overworld as an instance with your 4-man party. You would
Yeah.
never run across another player in the overworld. If you didn't
Right.
take someone from the city with you out
Right,
into the
yeah,
game,
I remember that.
there were no fucking people in the game. That's not an
You know
MMO.
You know what actually made me not play? I was almost okay with that. Do you know what made me not play it? The simplest thing. No jumping.
No jumping.
I couldn't do it. After playing WoW and EverQuest and all that kind of stuff, no jumping, couldn't do it.
Yeah, but okay, in WoW and EverQuest, what purpose does jumping serve?
It serves no purpose except for to jump over a rock if you get freaking stuck or something like that.
It serves the purpose of getting you very stuck when you're trying to jump over an area.
That too, but at least I could jump.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I jump? not jumping sucks. If you're playing an MMO, which is either first or third person, or anything that is first or third person, you need to jump.
Yeah, that really doesn't make sense.
It's just a
I guess
thing.
I don't even remember that being an issue. I just remember being, like, out in the world in a massively multiplayer online game, and the world had no people in it. It was impossible. It was physically impossible to run across a person. Not that there weren't people. The overworld was instanced for every party. Like,
Okay,
crazy.
So
Although, what was great about it is it was like the only MMO at the time that was free to play.
yeah,
Like, it was the only box AAA good MMO that didn't require a $15 subscription fee. That's really where they hit off good, and that's like the number one thing Guild Wars has had a claim to fame for, is high quality MMO with no fee.
Oh, and no, Kavik, jumping is not the equivalent of painting stripes on a car. Jumping is control of your character. Jumping is like giving you a freaking steering wheel on your car. You get to control your character how you want to. It's not like you walk in a straight line. And I also don't like the games where you can freaking click and like click on a quest or like on your mini map and it'll just walk you there. That sucks. That's not immersion. That's freaking AFK.
Yeah,
That sucks.
yeah.
But what I'm looking here, the Revenant is the new class, and he looks beast. He looks like he has a bow, but he wears heavy armor, and he has otherworldly powers.
Nice.
They brought back guild halls, a new stronghold game mode. So you gather supply to hire soldiers, battle for control of heroes, man the trebuchet. The trebuchet is always fun, by the way. To defend your stronghold and storm the enemy gates to defeat the guild lord. Use our new guild team feature to team up and battle to the top of the leaderboards. Stronghold offers an entirely new way to play competitive PvP. And a new WVW.
Nice.
Order. So that's always good.
World versus World. That was something I was really excited for Guild Wars.
Until I played it.
Yeah, I was really excited about the idea of an action-based combat game with like world PvP mechanics, and it was just not at all. EverQuest. I keep wanting to say EverQuest. Guild Wars 2, like, that might have been the most overhyped MMO in recent history. Like, we're gonna change the game. You won't even recognize you're playing an MMO. Action-based combat. Tab targeting is a thing of the past, but actually our action-based is tab-based. So, shut up. But don't listen to me. It's amazing. We have world events, which are basically a cycle of time-based list of events that randomly pop. But they're dynamic feeling. The world is alive.
Which they are.
The first 4 times.
Right. I mean, I think it's kind of cool that you don't have like a set place to go, except for that you kind of do because you have to go to a place that's within a couple levels of you, unless you have really, really good gear.
Oh yeah, I really like the idea of like their version of level agnostic. Like, that was cool. It was just the way they worded everything, the way they hyped it. Like, that's, I don't know, it brings me back to, I'm thinking about our conversation about the pros and cons of EA. How about not just the pros and cons of EA, how about the pros and cons of the information age? Whereas as soon as you come up and reserve and file copyrights for the license for the name of a fucking video game, the day you do that, someone on the internet is fucking, like, digitally auditing you to figure out every little secret about a game that may or may not exist during the stages in which a game is just ideas and nothing is solid, and we get all this speculation, and it's just the fucking information age, man. Like, I remember back in the day, you go to the store, you didn't know what new games were out until you fucking got to the store and you seen what the box looked like behind the glass shelf.
Right.
And then you're like, hey man, that's got cool. That's got some sweet ass box art. Mom, will you buy me that one? Like,
Right, exactly.
that's the way it worked. Like, you couldn't review. You couldn't go to Twitch and watch someone play it a week before it fucking comes out. Go on Google and fucking YouTube a video and see how, Metacritic scores it got or whatever bullshit. Like, you bought a game, even if the game had been out for 3 months. If your neighbor didn't buy it yet and already tell you it was a heap of shit or a tremendous gem, you had to buy it to find out for yourself.
Right.
It's a totally different atmosphere. Like, I remember just a couple months ago, the new Assassin's Creed game. EA, they banned reviews. They had like a blacklist on reviews for 48 hours after release. After release. Because they knew their game was so bad, they didn't want people to put bad reviews up for it and not buy it. They wanted to trick people into buying it by saying, well, the last one was okay, maybe this one will be good. And instead of like letting people communicate with their fellow gamers and say, don't buy it, it's a piece of shit, they legally barred us from saying, don't buy this, it's a piece of shit.
Right.
Like,
and in reality, the last one was good. Black Flag, it was fun. Sailing around, that was legit.
Yeah, I didn't play it. I haven't played any of these.
I didn't play Unity because
maybe it was
balls.
Yeah, it was Unity. It wasn't Black Flag. It was Unity. But
Black Flag was good.
They've been putting
Unity
out
is the new one.
They've been putting out 1.5 games a year lately, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Right.
Is that's another genre. Whereas like sequels are great. Sequels are great if the original game is great and you actually make a fucking sequel. If you import your entire base game code, import your entire fucking reservoir of game assets and character models, and then fucking recolor a few of them, add new weapons and a new fucking map to play those same characters and same mechanics you developed 5 years ago, I'm not gonna pay fucking full price for a new game. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. You modded the game you've been selling every year for the past 5 years. That's all you did. You didn't program a new game from scratch. You modified the game you sold me last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's weird. And that thing happens with movies as well. We've run into this rut where everything is rehashes, man. There's no new intellectual properties. Nobody's creating anything new. Nobody's fucking imagining new ideas. Nobody's coming up with new characters and new IPs. We're just fucking rehashing the same shit. Like, you went to see Cinderella today.
Mm-hmm.
The 12th Cinderella movie, live action, to be made in the last 5 years.
Like
Cinderella is like
actually good. To be honest, it was good, and it went places that other Cinderella movies did not go.
Cinderella dates back to like 500 AD or some shit, it's old as fuck, and we're still telling that same old busted story. Like,
the thing that I like to, I'm assuming that you're not gonna buy it or you're not gonna watch it. So
probably not.
The thing that was different to me, the thing that I thought was cool was that it showed the stuff that it would only allude to before, like the parents dying and things like that.
Okay.
It showed the stepmother being like trying to at first act like she was legitimately nice, and then doing being such a dick. It showed Cinderella like
being kind of a snotty
nice
bitch,
and struggling with it.
Okay.
And then at the end, like telling the stepmother off, and then going back to being nice and blah blah blah. Like, it actually showed the things that it always just alluded to.
Yeah.
And it showed the mom die. Like, have you ever seen a Cinderella where it showed the mom die?
No. But is it more powerful to read Cinderella and hypothesize and imagine the story that's not being told? Like, every time I read a book,
to see it, and the reason why I say that is because
I disagree.
You can imagine this amazing childhood or whatever, or can you? Because when they show it, this girl had an amazing childhood. She had everything, and then one day her mom just dies. Literally, she falls ill, and then the next day she dies, and that's something that her dad and her have to deal with. And then it shows, like, it tells you what her dad was doing, and her dad, went off, and she made this, she was devastated, and he never comes back from his trip, and she's devastated, and the sisters are all just worried about getting their presents, and the mom's just worried because she doesn't have any money and things like that. It's like it's actually showing kind of the seedy underbelly of everything that happened that created the story, and it doesn't leave it up to the imagination, so you actually know how heart-wrenching it actually was.
Yeah, but I completely agree, and I haven't seen it, but I like the idea that they humanized and they gave more definitive backstory to these pre-existing characters. That's cool, but it doesn't defeat the purpose that this is an unnumbered
No, it doesn't.
version of Cinderella that's been retold a million times throughout time.
Oh, no.
And
No,
like,
you're right.
okay, as great as you're telling me all the divergence that this movie took, could they have called it, like the Miss Orphan, poor beat up stepsister girl learns to appreciate
no.
herself or something.
No,
Like
no,
they could have rebranded it as a new movie and like held the emotional ties.
They could have reread it as a new movie and have the emotional ties had they not followed
The
story.
Cinderella story, right? And that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It seems like in our modern society, within the last 10, at least within the last 10 years, like every movie is a remake. They're a remake or a reimagining. Like we're getting a new Spider-Man origin story fucking movie coming up. Like
Right.
that's like the
we're on our
fourth one in the
third-
last
our third series.
third actor. Yeah, I think in the last handful of years within like the modern Marvel movie era. Like that's disappointing to me because fucking just make a sci-fi low budget and don't pay $12 billion to fucking Disney that now can have the license to make a Spider-Man movie. Make fucking Tarantula Woman. And like,
Well, the
just
reason
come
why
up
they're
with
doing it,
something
though-
new because
reason why
it's
they're doing
hip,
it, though-
it's popular, nostalgia selling because all of us who grew up on it now have kids we want to take to the movie theaters.
Well, the reason why they're doing the Spider-Man is, there's a couple of reasons. First, they want to put Spider-Man in
in the
Marvel.
Avengers, they want to put
Or
him in the Avengers.
Sorry.
Spider-Man was owned by Sony until
Yes.
just recently.
Yes.
They finally worked out a deal with Disney. They're going to put him in the Avengers.
In the Avengers, and that's why they're rebranding it.
And that's why they need a new character. But if they start
And
off
Andrew
with
Garfield
fucking
was a
Ben
douchebag.
Parker getting shot, with great power comes great responsibility. Again, if the first half of the movie, like, fucking, I don't know who the last two actors that played the movies were, but Spider-Man, the last two Spider-Man actors, they both had, like, 2 or 3 movies. And the first movie was, like, an hour of, like, waiting for Ben Parker to get shot and say, with great power comes great responsibility. Like, the origin story. Stop telling fucking origin stories.
I agree.
If you're going to see the story, you know the origin story. Like, if you're going to see the movie, if you're breathing fucking Earth's atmospheric oxygen, you know the origin story to all the Marvel heroes. We
Right.
don't need another one.
Right.
Put him in there fighting some villain straight off the bat, like opening scene, Spider-Man fucking shooting webs, stopping a bank robber. Like, he's Spider-Man already, no Peter Parker. And also, I heard they might be making Spider-Man black. Did you
Really?
hear about that?
I did not.
Okay, well, Marvel's super big into the alternative universes, and one of the more popular Spider-Mans, I can't remember his name, he was a black guy.
Okay.
And so they were talking about making Spider-Man a black man.
Huh.
So, and
Well, didn't
Do
they,
that.
Didn't they
Do
at
that
one
just
thing
to
make Thor a woman.
make it different. I don't remember Thor being a woman.
I don't know what it's in, but it's in something that Thor.
I'm
is a
sure
woman.
in a comic book or something somewhere there's like
Or maybe,
Lady
the-
Asgard
no,
or something.
No, like the new Thor comic, I think, is Thor's a woman.
Oh God! What is that? That's rule. What do they call it? Rule 43 on the internet. Isn't that what that's called? You're looking at me like you've never heard of this. Rule 43.
I don't know.
I'm gonna Google Rule 43.
Okay.
Rule 43. You can find anything on the internet if you're willing to look for it long enough. Urban Dictionary. Okay, so there's this rule on the internet for every character that exists. There's an opposite gender character of that, or an opposite gender version of that character.
Right.
So yeah, like there's, and even if it's non-canon, but that's the thing with
Cyril, do you like people putting homophobic slurs in your chat room?
no, I don't.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
redneck.
Both of them, actually.
I didn't. Where'd the other one go?
I got him.
Wait, was there multiple red? No, I don't know. Anyways, we're not homophobic, man. We love everybody. Everybody deserves an equal right to be married and miserable with the person they love,
Right.
in order to pay joint taxes to the government based on this
Oh, that's
pyramid
something that I
scheme
forgot to do tonight, by the
based on love. Taxes?
way. Yeah.
Pay your dude. You're late. You're late
No,
as
I'm-
fuck.
I don't owe money. They don't care. I could never do it, and they wouldn't care.
No.
They owe me money.
Yeah.
They wish I don't do my taxes.
Yeah.
Or hope, I guess.
Love you too. I think we're gonna wrap it up here shortly. It's about 6 a.m. anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting pretty late.
And I mean, we've discussed everything: pop culture, religion, social economics, the video game world, which is what we were supposed to talk about.
We talked
Booze.
about that a little bit. Did you say boobs?
Boobs. We didn't talk much about boobs.
I don't think we did.
I'm an ass man, so you're not gonna hear me mention boobs too often. So I mean, yeah, I think we had fun. I hope everybody who joined us for the show had fun. Do we have anything we need to get to real quick in the last 9 minutes so I can wrap it up nice and even on the hour?
Oh, 9 minutes, huh? Let's,
Just because I'm OCD, I like even numbers. I like
Gotcha.
even odd numbers because I'm OCD and schizophrenic.
even on them. Hey, it's AEW money.
Have you
Keep
not
going.
noticed my obsession with the number 3?
No, I haven't.
Anyone who knows me should have noticed my obsession with the number 3 by now.
All right, let us know. What is it about?
Oh, I'm just obsessed with the number 3. Like it drives
Like in what way?
it drives me insane. It doesn't make any sense. It like hurts my brain based on like when I was a little kid and I was like trying to figure out like division or something. And like 1 divided by 3 is 0.333 and times 2 is 0.666, so 0.3 should be times 3 should be 0.999, and that is not make any sense because math in public school system and basic education is based on base 10, and that's not real math, and I'm crazy and schizophrenic, and I just really like the number 3. I think it's beautiful.
Huh.
It's beautiful and wrong.
I got it.
I don't know. The number 3 is my favorite number. So now you've never noticed like every time I'm in Bank Heist, I always do like 333 or 3,333. Like
I've noticed that, but no, I didn't.
you just
like-
never paid attention. You're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? He's lazy. He likes to hit the same number over and over.
Yeah,
But like
that's
I'll
what I thought it was.
deliberately bid 333 instead of 1,000 until I hit 3,033 because I can't, because I don't know, man. I just like the number 33.
Interesting. I have the weird thing with the 6s that I've told you about.
Well, 3 is just double 6s, so I can
Right.
accept that. I
Yeah.
like that. And 9 is the same. It's just 3 3s, which is beautiful.
Or 6 upside down.
You're blowing my mind, dude.
I know.
So yeah, I have this weird obsession with the number 3. I don't know. It's pretty.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's 3. It's the best number. Like you have 1, that's 1 is nothing because it's individual. There's no diversity. 3, it is bipolar. It's like yin and yang, and 3 it offers you a choice. It's
Have you ever
right,
done,
wrong, and whatever the fuck I want to do.
Have you ever done non-linear math? Like infinity is actually a number, or I don't get it completely. But
Oh,
it
I'm
means-
sure I researched it at one point and
It means that like it's really weird. Like 0.9999 is actually 1, and things like that. Like, it's
Yeah.
like some really weird
yeah,
stuff.
somebody tried to explain that to me, and I think their best they were like a mathematics master and like engineer or something, and they were trying
Yeah,
to tell
my
me
friend is the same way. He's an engineer, so
that like math is supposed to be base 12 and base 10 is like simplified stupid math, and it's all wrong by a fraction, but we
Yeah.
just accept it because it's easier that way.
and it's close.
It's close
Close
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that always racked my brain as a public of the or as a product of the public school system who never went to college. So I mean I went to college, but I just did like 30-man raids in EverQuest 2 and slept through my classes. And, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So 96 is pretty cool, but it's not as cool as 69
Or 33.
or 33 or 66 or 99
Or 63.
Yep.
Or
Wait a minute.
36,
What? Yeah, something
Or
like that.
93.
No,
or
it's
39.
it's 33. 33.
Anything with a 3 in it, right?
Well, technically, it's pie. I'm much more a pie person than a cake man.
That makes sense. Did you celebrate Pi Day by any
I
chance?
did.
Awesome.
I did.
I celebrated it. I was doing my 48-hour stream, and I was supposed to be celebrating it on stream, but then I forgot. But we celebrated it off stream the whole day.
Yeah, I totally forgot until after the fact, and then I went and got like a pre-made apple pie confection pooped out of a machine preservative crap
Nice.
heap. It was delicious.
I bet it was.
But I mean, I get like every year for my birthday, I get a cheesecake just to piss people off. What do you want? What do you want for a birthday cake? I want a cheesecake. And then, I make it in pie tins with graham cracker
What
crust.
do you think about the number 8?
Eh.
Because the number 8 is just 2 3s facing each other.
Oh fuck. Superimposed. 8 actually has a dear place in my heart as well, as like the only even number I like.
Huh.
So there's
Why?
that.
What is it?
8, because it's the infinity sign
Okay.
turned on its side. So it's like
But
infinity
there's no such
standing
thing as
up.
infinity, remember?
No, there is.
No.
Okay, like
Thing.
determine the remainder on pi divided by pi. I don't know, man. It's infinity. Math.
I don't even think that's a.
Divide your
It
pie
doesn't
by
at all.
cake and tell me what number it is. God damn it.
I don't even think that pi has anything to do with that.
No, but McDonald's is open till 2 a.m.
Ah, that'd be nice if I wasn't drinking.
I know, and if it wasn't 6 a.m.
Well, it's probably open now.
They're open! Let's go to breakfast. I want an egg and bacon cheese McMuffin. I can't. I think I have egg and cheese and I don't have McMuffin. What's in McMuffin, you guys?
Oh, okay, Vic. It's actually kind of funny.
Girls like 88 because they get 8 twice.
It was cute.
Oh, that's like horribly great.
Yeah, exactly.
This is one of those like, really? Really? Okay. All right, well, it's 5:59, so I think Cujo said, fuck you, I'm going upstairs. I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. So I should probably get off
it
of
too.
here. Yeah.
Yes.
Do it
And
to it.
everybody come watch me because I'm trying to get partnered.
Yes, I'm gonna host Creme right now. Everybody should go over to Cremies.
I'm not gonna play right now. I'm going to bed.
Oh, what you just said that?
No, forever. I mean, everybody watch me forever. But thank you for the host.
Yeah, I sent it to Creme Check with a CH. So I don't.
That's what it is.
No, with a CK. Sorry, with a CHECK.
No, you didn't.
With the first time.
Oh, okay.
I fixed it. All right.
Okay, good.
Good night, folks. I hope you're drunk enough to fall asleep in a semi-conscious state of inebria and wake up wondering what the fuck happened. Well rested.
Yeah.
So, see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for coming.